Months ago, a student reached out about sharing some thoughts to the senior class. My first thought was around time and whether we'd be setting up another tradition that we'll need to plan for in the future. However, the past few months have shown the importance of focusing on what is needed right now, in this moment. Right now, people are important. Community is important. These students are important. As a final decision for this year, I'd like to ask Maya, child of TJ graduate, sibling of a current TJ student, and a TJ student 6 times over, here from 7th grade, to come up and address her classmates. Maya. You got this.
I just wanted to say that Priya and Greta were both my little apprentices, and I'm so proud, and thank you so much. So, thank you, 8th graders, for giving us such a wonderful send-off. Believe it or not, I found that seniors and 8th graders actually share some similarities other than our sense of humor. Similar to us seniors, who are about to embark on a new journey called college, you all are about to begin your first year of high school this fall. I know that I sound old by saying this, and I hate it, but 4 years ago, I was in your same shoes. In fact, at that time, I actually kept a diary. The first few lines go something like this. My name is Willow Albano. I'm going into 9th grade, freshman, this year, which is pretty scary, NGL. I'm sure many of you share the same nervous sentiments as 9th grade me, and you'd be right in having those feelings. So I'll be sharing some helpful tips and tricks on how to survive high school. I'm going to first debunk a myth. High school isn't going to be the coming-of-age story that you might dream it to be. Needless to say, it was rough. To be honest, coming from a public school to a private school was jarring. I went from being the smartest kid in the classroom to getting my first B. I felt myself lagging behind my peers academically as the gap seemed to stretch out farther and farther as time went on. Needless to say, this left me completely lost. If I couldn't be like Kieran or Landy, who was I? Ah, yes, an identity crisis. The first of many. But that's what high school is all about. Figuring out who you are. When you strip away academics, grades, honors, who are you? The truth is, the only people who can be like Kieran or Landy is Kieran Lynn Landy. You can never be someone that you are not. There will always be people who are ahead of you, but that is okay. Life is not a race, but a peaceful walk through nature that sometimes you have to slow down to really appreciate. So don't feel like you have to be at a constant full sprint. Take your time. Find out what you are good at and stick to it. Discover what you're passionate about and make it your own. Before you know it, other people won't matter at that point. I transferred schools from Art 7 to TJ, Thomas Jefferson. It was probably the best decision ever. The teachers are good and nice, and the grade is small. Those who were at senior night learned about my 6-year struggle against my mortal enemy, math. But why exactly did I choose all 3 of my teachers who had taught me math over the years to do my senior roast? It's because I learned that even though math may be my eternal nemesis, I had the most powerful allies right next to me. The teachers at this school are more than good or nice. They're our friends, our closest confidants, our second family, or maybe even first family. I remember meeting in Miss Correa's office for an hour and a half after school every day just to go over the day's lesson and the next day's homework. I remember when my calculator settings were off during a quiz and DJ went through each problem with me and attempted to award me as many points as possible. I remember the emails I got from Mr. Pesic checking up on me to make sure I was doing okay after missing a couple of assignments. I remember all of my teachers, at one point or another, saying, "I'm proud of you." I gotta take pictures after this so I can't cry. The last thing the teachers want to see you do is fail. If you need help, whether it be academically or mentally, then ask. They will give you extra time, extra help, an extra shoulder to lean on in hard times, because that's just what they do. And as a kid whose old math teacher shrugged and replied, "I can't help you," when I first said, "I don't know," their support is nothing like anything you'd find elsewhere. I've been a firm believer that there are certain lessons that can only be learned at TJ. TJ isn't a perfect institution. There is still a lot needed to be done. But that is a lesson in itself. Here we are taught critical thinking to be able to understand when a system is flawed. However, TJ is actively changing. I've always thought about what it would be like to be the only grade who remembers the old TJ when I was still a 7th grader, but I had never thought about what it would be like to see the new generation of TJ students, and I couldn't feel more confident. Students are getting more involved, enacting change, trying to open minds to new possibilities to improve TJ, and we've even seen their efforts this week. Numerous times has it been said to me that the cooperation of students and teachers is a crucial part of TJ's evolution. So keep pushing, keep talking. Utilize the lessons that you are taught at this very institution and wield words with wisdom way beyond your years. You all have been given numerous tools at your disposal. Now, you just need to find your voices. The first step is always the scariest, but also the most exhilarating. Not only are there valuable lessons to be learned from TJ, but a lot of those lessons will actually come from your classmates themselves. I'm brought back to a brief conversation with Mr. Smith, who I joked to early in the year. "You must be relieved to see the problem grade go." To which he replied with a half-hearted chuckle, "Don't say that." Every class has its problems, but when our grade has a problem, we make it everyone else's problem. We've been compared to a family many times before by Mr. Roth, and while that is true, I would like to add an adjective before it: dysfunctional. We yell, fight, hold grudges, make use of our extensive, well-learned vocabulary gifted to us by our mentors, miscommunicate, hold grudges again, and the cycle repeats every single year. But I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge what our squabbles have taught me. I am a mosaic of all of the people that I have ever loved, and I have loved each and every one of you dearly. Everyone has made their individual mark that has shaped me into the person I am today, and I like who I am today. If you look underneath your chairs, taped, you'll see sealed papers. Please make sure it has your name on it, by the way. I'm not sure where people were supposed to sit, so. Like it's taped underneath your chairs. You may open them now. I know that I'll most definitely see some of you again. Oh, each of them contains a lesson I learned from you. I know that I'll most definitely see some of you again, but for others, this may be the last time. So to my fellow graduates, final farewells are too hard. So instead, thank you, goodbye, and see you soon. To the 8th graders and the rest of the TJ, I believe in you, try your best, and good luck.